The year is ending. Whether you've achieved the things you wanted to or not, I'm going to show you a specific process designed to help you energetically close out this year and set yourself up for massive acceleration in the next year. So make sure you do this before the new year, especially if you're a 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur, because this is specifically designed to help you accelerate next year. The approach we're going to use is something that I have used personally, and I've also learned from working with hundreds of men, including billionaire clients, to help them set themselves up for the next level. You're not just going to get those insights now. I'm also going to show you how to translate them and use them to create a quantum vision for your next year. Now let's get into it. There are 3 steps that you must follow in order to energetically close this year and set yourself up for the next year. This is something called the RCI method. It is an extremely powerful method where R stands for review, C stands for close, and I stands for integrate. But be careful here not to just look at those words and think you know what they mean, because there's a very different level that you can use this, especially when you're working on a quantum level. Remember, we want to work with aligning your soul to your path so that you can borrow energy from the field to accelerate you on your journey ahead. The first step with R, when you come in to review it, is to look back on your year, but not just collect any kind of data on what went well, what didn't go well, but instead look through your year and see if you can identify quantum patterns. When I say quantum patterns, you need to realize that at every given moment in time, the universe, the quantum field, is currently communicating to you on what you need to do to accelerate to the next level. The reason you haven't broken to that next level in your business, in your life, in your relationship, to have that hot romantic connection that you want, is you're missing the signs that the universe is trying to give you. So I'm going to show you how to identify that. At this point, you should probably get a pen and a paper or pull up your notes app, because you're going to need to take some notes here. And then I want you to write down 3 questions. Number 1, throughout this year, where are the places you've gotten triggered? Number 2, throughout this year, where are the times you've achieved something that you wanted? Say you got to a certain amount of revenue, 100K a month, 300K a month, whatever it is, even if it's 10 grand a month, you've achieved some level of wealth, some level of success, or you got the thing that you wanted. Maybe it's the woman, and then you lost it. And then something happened where you cooled down, and then you got sick. And as a result of that, you lost the thing or the level that you thought you achieved. This is extremely important. So that's the second step. The third step is to ask yourself, how did you specifically invest in yourself? Here's why this matters. We'll start with the first one, triggers. When you identify the places you've been triggered in your life, what's actually happening is that there is something inside of you energetically that resonates with that thing that's triggering you. So when people look at triggers, they try to run away from the thing that triggered them. Some situation happened, they push back. What you want to do instead is identify that thing and go a step deeper to ask, why has this thing triggered me? Because there's a part of you which is part of your program that is literally embedded in your cellular structure based on the memories you've gone through in your life, based on the traumas that have happened in your life. And as a result of that, those things are being pinged whenever you get triggered to force you to face them. This is how the quantum world speaks. It doesn't speak in black and white like we typically understand. It speaks in energy. So when you get triggered and a burst of energy, whether it's anger, aggression, shame, whatever it is comes through you, what's actually being communicated is there's a part of you there that is unresolved. And because it's unresolved, your soul can't move forward. So when you get triggered and these things have happened throughout a year, you want to identify specifically what happened, what caused that energy to run through your life, because that is what's pinging deep down in your cells. And that's what's keeping you in the same position you're in. Because remember, you cannot take the next step unless you resolve these triggers. So understand them and try to trace back, why is it happening? What was the cause of this thing? What was the first memory where this pattern started? That is the thing you need to face. That is number 1. When we go to the second part of review, remember the second question is to identify the places and the things that you achieved and then suddenly lost. The reason this is happening when you achieve something and then you lose it is because you're in a quantum loop. A quantum loop is something and a situation that loops in your life where you cannot break onto the next level unless you resolve and understand what your soul needs at its core, that causes it to force you back and cool down. So when you see yourself, and I see this with a lot of clients, I do this with Reborn and the Men in Reborn, we transform a lot of lives through this particular process. If you're interested, actually see the description below, because you're gonna learn exactly how to get through these different patterns. So say, for example, you are an entrepreneur who, you've touched 100K a month, but you only touched 100K a month, and then something suddenly happened where you fell sick, and then you cool down. What you need to identify is actually the inverse of this. When you achieve this success, it meant something to you. It meant happiness, pride, confidence, whatever it was. But then when you cool down, say you got sick, something happened, a business deal fell through, and you cool down to the bottom, chances are you started judging yourself, and a very different mindset and a very different paradigm showed up. One where you were no longer as powerful, you're no longer as strong. Something happened at that bottom layer. The reason this happens, right, is because your soul has a specific desire to experience the low end of the spectrum. An example might be, say, when you're at the bottom end where you've crashed after making 100K, is you feel weak. You feel like you're not good enough. You feel all of these different emotions. What your soul is trying to do is it's trying to experience that emotion, because you have to remember your soul doesn't delineate between positive or negative. Your soul just has a range of experiences that it wants to experience. And so when it goes back to that zone where it cools down, that is an emotion, a feeling that it wants to have. If you do not know how to process the emotions in that bottom end of the spectrum where you go up and you go down, if you don't know how to deal with that particular piece, you will keep repeating the patterns and looping up and down. And the specific way you want to break through this is something called shadow work. Shadow work is where you work with your soul to understand the shadow aspect of your soul that wants to have these emotions which you deem as negative, that wants to have these emotions, and learning how to integrate that aspect of yourself so you no longer have the need to experience that emotion or that particular state of being. When you no longer have that need, your soul no longer needs to cool you down. As a result, you effortlessly break to the 100K and the 200K level, and you start going higher and higher. This is a specific process. We do this in the first month of my program Reborn, which is starting very shortly, January 20th. See the link below to apply, especially if you're a 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur who wants to take yourself to the next level, who wants to achieve intimacy, who wants to gain deep connection, who wants to make a shit ton of money and do it in an effortless manner. We are going to show you how to deal with this lower end of your quantum spectrum so you no longer experience it. On top of that, you will now learn specifically how to create the quantum structure of your business and your life so that it effortlessly supports the acceleration of your soul. When you do this, you go beyond manifesting and meditating on 100 hours of journaling, and instead you design your life in a way where you are quantumly supported on your soul's journey. As a result, your soul takes that energy and instead of cooling you down, accelerates you forward. This is what we do in Reborn specifically for 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs. So explore the link below, join us. It's going to absolutely transform lives. The last batch that went through Reborn, it took them just 21 days for them to transform. I've had men cross their highest level month within 2 weeks of the program. I've had men 10x their prices in the program. I've had men have the deepest, hottest, intimate moments and sexual connections with their partners in the program, because I show you specifically how to open that part of yourself by working with your soul. So you cannot afford to miss this. It's just 15 people. Explore it below. That covers question 2. Now, question 3 is to go into investment. How much did you invest in yourself? Really ask yourself. I want you to, on your notes app or whatever you're doing, have 2 lines. One of them is to chronicle how much you invested in yourself in the year. That might be 10,000, 15,000, whatever it is. How much did you invest in your own space? And then how much did you invest in your business? If you see a very massive delta, what's happening is you are neglecting your own energetic capacity to handle the next level of wealth in your life. This is one of the biggest problems I see that 6 to 7 figure men who want to step into the higher levels of wealth make, because they don't invest in their bodies and their physical energetic capacity to handle that much wealth, which is the shadow work, which is the kind of work that we do in Reborn. And because you're not investing in yourself at the same rate or at a similar rate to what you're putting in your business is accelerating to an extent, but your own energetic capacity to handle the success of your business is not matching up. As a result of that, you are not at parity with your business. I'm not saying invest the same amount, but you probably need to raise the investment of yourself in the next year, because when you do this, you would open your energetic capacity to receive more. You are not blocked by how much you can manifest. You are blocked by how much you can receive. And what you want to do is invest in becoming the person that can receive a ton of success, becoming the person that can receive the woman, becoming the person that can receive the highly complex and lucrative situations that you want to be in to be able to achieve that next level of wealth. So this is how you do your review. These are the 3 questions to ask, and these are the ways to solve it. The next phase of this process is align. Here, what you want to do is you want to align your life to the person that you want to become in the next year. And the way this happens is actually by being quite ruthless with your time. You want to learn right now to cut things out and do what's called closing the loop on anything that is still an open loop in your life. As a man stepping into his dark masculine, as a man stepping into his full activation who wants to achieve his power, you cannot afford to have an open loop in your life. What's an open loop? An open loop is that relationship with the woman that you're not ending, even though you know it's not going anywhere, but you're just keeping her around because there's a thread. An open loop is that business partner that you're not letting go of, even though you know is holding you back. An open loop is that client you need to fire because he no longer matches what you want in your business, but you cannot afford to let him go because you're scared of losing the money. An open loop is the rejection you're not willing to face with the current sales deals that are going on that you're not pushing through to completion because because of whatever reason. I want you to list out all open loops in your business, your partners, your connections, your deals that are currently ongoing, your sales process, the people you need to fire, list them out for your business. In your relationship, the women that no longer serve you, get aligned on specifically the kind of woman that you want to have in your life, and anyone who does not match that needs to go. In your connections, get aligned with the friends and the quality of friends and relationships energetically that you want to have around you, and just make a list of all the open loops in your life, anything that's not completed, rejections you're not facing, whatever it is. And within the next 7 days, close them. The reason this is important is because when you have an open loop, you have what's called an energetic black hole open in your business, an energetic black hole open in your life and in your relationships. These open loops are sucking energy from you because you're not completing things and you're not closing your energetic field. As a result, your energy is spread way too thin and you cannot activate at the level that you want to activate at. So within the next 7 days, list out at least 10 open loops in your life and close them to completion. The women, the business, the deals, the friends, close them all. Wherever you're not taking forward, cut them. Move on. This removes energetic black holes in your life and aligns your energy to move forward. And it's an extremely powerful one for you. Now let's move on to the third phase. We go into integration. Now that we've A, removed some of the initial blocks that you had, or you're going to go through Reborn where we're going to work on that. B, we've closed your energetic loops and removed the black holes from your life. Now you're in a space to have the energetic capacity to envision the life that you really want to have. This is when you can powerfully magnetize, because remember, you've opened your body and your blocks, you've removed the energetic black holes. Now you actually have the energy to envision. And so in this step, I want you to ask 5 things. Number 1, where were you the most happy this year? Where did you feel the most successful? Number 2, whose energy amplified you the most? Make a list of the people who, when you spent time with them or interacted with them, their energy moved you forward. Or by interacting with them, your life moved forward. You had better relationship, better business deals, whatever it is, as a result of being with that person. That's a very good sign. Number 3, if money was not an issue, what would you like to experience next year? Make a list of all of that. You need to step outside of the confines of how you see money in your life and start making decisions and connections and visions from the quantum field, not thinking about where the money is going to come from. So make that list now. The 4th thing you need to ask is, who do you need to be to achieve it? What is the quality of your existence, of your beingness to achieve that? How are you with your time? How are you with people? What is the softness of your gaze as you look through the world? Can you show up with a deeper level of consciousness? Who do you need to be? Number 5, what do you need to invest in to become that person? This is going back again to the other point. If you invest in your business more than you invest in yourself and you do not prioritize your own energetic capacity, you cannot step into the version of you that you need to be able to connect into the quantum field and attract without money, to be able to attract more people who amplify your energy, and ultimately to get to the goal of massive success and happiness. And I also want you to understand this thing on point 5. This changed my life. It's the way to think about money and investments and how you show up. Most men make this mistake. If you had a goal to get to $1.2 million a year, that means making $100,000 per month. The cost of not making $100,000 each month is not costing you zero. It is costing you $100,000 for not knowing how to make $1.2 million a year or $100,000 a month. So you need to look at the investment in yourself. And if you have a target and you're not investing 10% of that, say $1.2 million a year, you're not willing to invest $100,000 in yourself, it's very difficult for you to step into that level. This might mean taking 15, 20 grand to pump into yourself, because again, it's costing you more by not knowing how to get to the level of success that you want to achieve than it would if you just invested in yourself to get to that next level. Once you have all of this, you can then go into a vision board process. I made a pretty powerful process from last year for members in my community. You can check that out. I'll add the link somewhere here. Once you have all of this, now go into the process of crafting a powerful vision for your life. And remember, the year is ending. It is time for you to create and craft a powerful vision for your life. These are the steps on how to do it. Specifically, if you are that man who wants to be in his power, is that 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur who wants to level up. These are the steps you need. It's extremely simple, it's direct to the point, and it will change how you show up energetically, which is the missing key into what you want to achieve. Spaces for my next Reborn program are still available. This is designed to help you do all of these things I've mentioned in the video, to open your body's energetic capacity, to recalibrate how your energy taps into the field and how you project into the world, and to show you how to connect on a soul level into your most successful part. The members who've gone through this program took just 21 days to succeed. Members have 10x their prices through this program. Members have gone on to achieve their highest revenue months. Members have gone to have the deepest intimacy with the women, because I not just show you how to change your quantum paradigm, or work on the success level, I also show you how to do something that's called activating your dark masculine. This is the energy that allows you to penetrate a woman with certainty. This is the energy that allows you to penetrate life with certainty. This is your most magnetic energy that shows you how to pull life to you because you will be in your most powerful state. This is the path of the dark masculine. And so look through the links below to join the next Rock On program, and I'll see you there. The next thing you have to do is to go win. Good luck.